everyone, welcome back to Homemaking 101. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make apple dumplings. So first we're going to start out by making our crust. So for my pie dough crust, I use 2 cups of flour, 2/3 cup of shortening, about a teaspoon of salt, and just some water, enough to make it the right consistency. So we're going to go ahead, mix that up, and roll it out. One batch of dough will make enough for about 6 apples. Depends on the size of your apple. So after we're done rolling our dough out, then we're going to go ahead and core and slice our apples. So let's get started. Alright, so we went ahead and made our dough, rolled it out, and we cut it into 6 slices. Now we're going to go ahead and core and peel and slice our apples. So this is a Pamper Chef apple core peeler slicer. I love doing this with apple dumplings. I think it helps them bake better too. And it saves a lot of time. I'm going to go ahead and run it through here. Alright, and gather up all of our scraps here and throw these away. Pull our apple off. So there's just some little pieces of shell left. I like to just take my knife, go ahead and cut them off as best as possible, just so we don't have any shell. And then same with the bottom here, just pull that piece off. There we go. So there we have our cored and peeled and sliced apple. So we're gonna go ahead and do these with all of our apples, and then we'll go ahead and put them in our shell. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and fill our apples with cinnamon and sugar mixed together. I like to fill them about 3/4 of the way full. You don't want to fill them too full, or you're gonna end up with a really sweet apple. But then if you don't fill them enough, then you're gonna have a not as sweet apple. Depends on what you like. Just gonna go ahead and fill these guys up here. All right, now we're gonna take our dough and we're gonna bring it up and around our apple. So I like to use a little bit of water on my finger. Helps hold your dough together. Gives it a nice little seal. Just gonna stick it all together here. I like to pull my 4 corners up first, get them all stuck on top, and then go back and fix all of our edges here. Okay, so now we're gonna go ahead and tuck these guys around. Let's put a little bit of water on them to get them to stick. Just wanna form it around your apple as best as possible without any holes, so your cinnamon and sugar doesn't leak out. You also wanna be careful when you pick them up to transfer them to your pan, that you don't knock a hole in the bottom of your apple as well, because you're going to lose all your cinnamon and sugar. So I like to gently pick them up, just kind of give them a good little pat here. And then we're going to go ahead and put him in our baking dish. Now I did go ahead and grease my baking dish a while, only because they tend to stick if you don't grease them. So then it's a little harder to get them out after they're baked. All right, so we're going to go ahead and finish all these guys up, put them in our pans. All right, so our apples are in the pan. We went ahead and made our syrup for around our apples, which is just a 1/2 cup of sugar, 1/2 cup of corn syrup, 2 tablespoons of butter, 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon, and 1 cup of water. So we're boiling this for about 3 minutes, and then we're gonna pour it around our apples. So I actually like to pour a little bit of this into a separate little bowl here, and this is going to be used to spoon on top of our apple dumplings. Okay, so the rest we're going to bring over here. We're going to pour some on our dumplings here, just a little bit in here to cover the bottom, and the rest in the big one here. All right, So now we're gonna bake these guys in the oven at 425 for about 40 minutes. I spoon the sugar syrup over top about 2 to 3 times while it's baking. And then after that, then we'll pull them out of the oven and let them cool. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and pour this liquid over these. It gives them a nice brown finish. So I'm gonna save this bowl for those little guys because I can't get a spoon down in there. And then for these guys, I just take my spoon and then go ahead and pour it up and over them. Just be careful you don't burn yourself because it is very hot. Just gonna pour it over all of them. I honestly like to do this about every 10 minutes, so I end up doing it about 4 times. It just helps them keep them from drying out as well. All right, so we're gonna push them back in and let them keep baking. All right, so we took our apple dumplings out of the oven at about 40 minutes. We're just gonna let them cool completely here, unless you want to eat it warm. I did 2 of these guys in a little foil one here because I'm gonna throw them in the freezer. And then these guys we're gonna have for supper tonight. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe below.